Next, we focus on a guy who's no stranger to landing on his hat, Scott Stevens and King Crunch. Stevens and his Auto Value Special have garnered a reputation as the rough and tumble kid of monster truck racing. King Crunch may be a little hard to recognize from time to time, but Scott Stevens' driving style has made for some unforgettable moments, like this one at the Richmond International Raceway, where Rich Hooser and yours truly, Gary Lee, were on hand for the first of many King Crunches.
Oh, Scott's in trouble. He gets a little out of shape and he hits the wall. Bigfoot's going to take the win. I'm going to get down there and see if Scott's all right.
And here is the look again.
Gary, I'll show you what happened. When he got off that first set of cars, look how out of shape he is. Now, he's turning left into the cars, but once he's in the air, you have no control over that vehicle. And with that wall being as close as it is, it hooked that left front tire and just drug him around and totally busted the front housing.
Scott was done for the night in Richmond, but rest assured he'd be back to shake, battle, and roll another day, like this Sunday afternoon at the Bloomsburg Fairgrounds, where Stevens was definitely on a roll. Round 2 action versus Barefoot. Army Armstrong and I can tell you that this would be no Sunday drive for Scott Stevens.
Stevens jumped him on the light, Gary.
Oh, he got a good cut, but look at the air. Fred Schaefer way up in the air. Oh, problem for Scott Stevens. He is upside down. That truck looks like it's really been hurt. We'll watch to see for Scott if Scott can climb out as the crew runs over there, the safety crew, his crew. They look in the cage. Look at the destruction to that Chevrolet.
Look at the air, the hang time Schaefer had on the left of your screen. Now he pulls back on Stevens. Stevens, bad
right there, yeah, he catches that rut and rolls him on over. A lot of damage. Stevens was able to walk away without serious injury, but his string of bad luck would continue. Just a few weeks later, it was on to Canfield, Ohio. Up against Snakebite, watch what happens to King Crunch in the far lane. Another rollover. Scott would get it back together for the next day, where things only got worse. King Crunch in the far lane, minus the front doghouse, up against John Green and the Micro Machine. Here's a live call.
Whoa, he's going over
upside down again. All the way over. Scott Stevens has to be saying, oh no, not again. The crew runs over there. They're talking to him. He's moving in the cockpit. He apparently is okay, but how many times can you roll one over before you finally throw up your hands and say, I think I've had enough of this? But as we've seen, there's no quit in this man who epitomizes what it takes to shake, battle, and roll. And after Scott cleared the cobweb, he tried to put it all in perspective.
It seems like the thing that got us back to be competitive probably was hurting us a little bit right now, but you know, we're still there, and it's a long season. You know, we're going to still come out of here in the top 5. We'll be happy, and we're not going to miss no points races. We're going to be at every one of them.
Scott Stevens and King Crunch on his hat one day and ready to race the next. Good safety equipment has kept this gutsy racer out of Woodlands, Texas from being seriously hurt. But it's his strong will to win that keeps King Crunch coming back for more, because when his truck stays upright, it's one of the hardest chargers on the circuit. Another truck that's had its share of hard times is USA 1. Owner Everett Jasmer and driver Steve Wilkie have had to put Old Glory back together more than once. And one of the more damaging wrecks took place once again on that narrow straightaway of the Richmond International Raceway. The USA 1 in the near lane versus Equalizer in the far lane. Driver Steve Wilkie was uninjured from this violent crash, but perhaps the fatigue factor was setting in on the Chevy Silverado that's been over on its roof one too many times. Watch how the truck careens to the left after the first set of cars and is about to T-bone the Equalizer just as USA 1 hits the stack of cars in the opposite lane and the front end tucks under. After Steve Wilkie collected his thoughts, he talked to Army Armstrong.
People don't realize how important it is for you to stay in the throttle. A lot of people think, well, wait a minute, if you just backed out of the throttle, everything will be okay. That's not the case at all. If you'd have backed out of the throttle, you'd have really been in trouble, wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely, Army. When you land in any contorted position, meaning nose over, up on two wheels, bicycling the truck, anything like that, especially when you're nose over, you want to drive that front end out.
Just a few weeks later, Wilkie would let his right foot do the talking. USA 1 would dust itself off and go from the scrap heap to the winner's circle in Flemington, New Jersey. Now, that's one race Wilkie wouldn't mind seeing again. And here to look at that and some other memorable moments for USA 1.
They're both staged. There's the green light. The championship here in Flemington. It's USA 1. USA 1, Steve Wilkie takes the victory. Climb on the brakes. Look out, Steve. Through the car and through the fence.